Whoa, a real monster truck. Are you ready to learn about some monster trucks? Let's go. Hey! Whoa! Look at that! It's a giant monster truck. Let's check out some of the parts of the monster truck. Whoa! These? Yeah, are the wheels and tires. They're so big! All that in there? That's the gears and the suspension. There's so much stuff going on in there. Whoa, yeah, the engine. The engine is right here. That's where the monster truck gets all of its power from. Ooh, and this, that big yellow thing, that's the body of the monster truck. Monster wheels and tires. Whoa! Check it out! This green monster truck is doing a wheelie. Let's watch an instant replay and then watch a couple more monster truck wheelies. Whoa! You're inside a real monster truck. Let me show you some of the parts. First off, you got in here because you went from the bottom. You get inside a monster truck from the bottom. And here's the first part I'll tell you about. This is the steering wheel. You steer the monster truck with this, okay? And then let's push the ignition button, which then flips on all of your gauges, like your oil temperature, transmission temp, and your tach, which is your rotations per minute of the engine. Whoa, and how you make that engine go vroom is down here, is the gas pedal. Vroom, vroom, vroom. And then this is the brake. That's how you stop the monster truck. All right, now let's watch some monster trucks. Uh-oh, it crashed. Whoa! Look at how big this monster truck is. It stands about 12 feet tall. That's 4 meters in height. To put it into perspective, That's about 2 of me. Blippi! Phew, that was close. Do you want to see what it's like riding inside a real monster truck? Was really cool seeing inside a real monster truck while it drives. It was really bumpy. Meet my friend Peyton. He's a crew chief and he's gonna tell you a fact about his monster truck.
So this monster truck weighs 10,000 pounds.
Peyton is so cool. He gets to work on monster trucks all day long. And he even gets to wash their tires.
I like monster trucks. Do you guys like monster trucks?
That was so enjoyable learning about monster trucks with you.
Hey, it's me, Blippi, and I'm just reading this really cool book. Yeah, it's called Penguins Love Colors by Sarah Aspinall. It's about all these penguins that have a different favorite color. Green, blue, violet, red, orange, and yellow. Whoa, I love this book. Whoa, check this page out. Yeah, it looks like a garden. There's so many flowers and so many colors. Whoa, even a rainbow. Hey, rainbow plus garden equals rainbow garden.
Hi, Blippi.
Oh, hey, who are you?
I'm Sarah Aspinall.
Sarah Aspinall? Wait a second. Like the author and the illustrator of this book?
That's me.
Whoa, that is so cool!
Would you like to make a rainbow garden of your very own, Blippi?
Yeah, I think that would be so much fun.
Well, come this way. I've got all of the things you need.
Ooh, all right.
Here is a box full of lots of fun art surprises for you to have your very own art adventure.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. And we are very excited to make our very own rainbow garden.
Have so much fun, Blippi.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
Are you excited? Yeah, I sure am. Let's do this. Whoa. All right, let's find all the things that we need inside this box. Whoa! Yay! Oh, wow. Woo! It looks like we have a white palette. Okay, that right there. Wow. Whoa! Oh! Wow. An apron? Yeah, a green apron. It actually has a lot of paint on it. I'll set that right over here, and we'll put that on before we start using all of the paints. Whoa. Hey, a sponge. Okay, put the sponge right there. Ooh, a salad spinner. Whoa, I know what this is used for. I'll show you really soon. Okay, and we have some scissors, a little paintbrush, and of course, a lot of paint. All right, I think that's all. Let's see. Yep, that's all. Okay, let's put on this apron so then I don't get dirty. All right, here we go. Tie it nice and tight. Perfect. There we go. All right. Okay, let's organize a little bit. Whee! Alrighty. Okay, so we have our paint over there, salad spinner right there, big piece of white paper, little teeny paintbrush. Put that in there. Ooh, can't forget about the book, so then we can reference what we're making. How about that? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, remember? We're making this picture. A rainbow garden. All right. So, first, we need to make a big piece of paper of rainbow colors. So, let's take a little bit of red and a paintbrush. We're gonna put it on the sponge, okay? So, let's actually just squirt it right here. Okay, and now that we have a lot of red right there, we need to do all the other colors. But I actually have an idea. I think I should use this palette and fill it up. Might make it a lot easier. Perfect. Okay, now let's take the paintbrush. All right, and let's put some orange right here. Yeah, so now we have red and then orange. Need to wash off our brush. Perfect. And we need some yellow right here. Wow. Yellow is so pretty. It's like the color of the sun. Okay, lots of yellow right there. Now we need some green. Okay. Whoa, green. Perfect. After green, we need some blue. Yeah, perfect. Good amount of blue right there. Do you see this? We're almost done. And now, we need some violet or purple. They're very similar in looks. Wow. There we go. How does that look? Haha, yeah, like a rainbow. All right, now for the fun part. Push it down right here. Yeah! Whoa! Look at that! Wow. Yeah. And you do that same thing many times in a row, all the way down. So I'll do that now. Whoa! That is so beautiful! Check it out! Whoa! Okay, I'm actually gonna set this over to the side so it can dry. It's a little wet still. Perfect. Okay, now what we need to do is take this salad spinner. Yeah, you normally put salad, kale, romaine, lettuce inside here, and you spin it around. and it flings all the water off of it. But today, what we're gonna do is we have a white piece of paper right there, and we get to put some colors in here and then spin it, and then it pushes all the paint off to the edges. Okay, ready? We'll put some yellow. Yeah, that looks really good. And then how about we put some orange? I love orange. Yeah, just like that. Wow, yellow and orange. And how about a few drops of red? Yeah, how about that? Just a couple. There we go. Perfect. All right, now let's put the top on. Now it's all sealed. Here we go. Whoa! That was awesome. I just spun it so fast. Let's open it up and see what we have inside. Whoa! Wow! That is amazing! We just made that by spinning this around really quick. Okay, it's pretty wet, so let me put it off to the side so then it can dry. Okay, now that I put that off to the side to dry, the original rainbow is probably ready to use. So let me get it. Yep, it's nice and dry. All right, so now what we need to do, let me organize this paint. I don't want it to get all over me now that we're all done painting. So what we're actually gonna do is take this and make a little squiggly line while we cut. Ready? Yeah, just like this. Whoa, kind of like a worm. Worms squiggle around. Or a caterpillar, or a snake. You see this? Yeah, check that out. Okay, now what I need is a white piece of paper. I have one right on the ground over here, and then I put it on the top. Do you see that? Yeah, it's like a rainbow, just like in Sarah's picture. So, let me get some glue right over here. All right, now that I have this glue, I can glue it down. All right. Have you ever used a glue stick before? It's kind of fun. Yeah, it's not all liquidy like the normal type of glue. This is a glue stick. You just kind of like color it on. But it's no color, you know, like as if you're coloring. Yeah, there's no color to it. It's clear. Perfect. Wow, this looks amazing. You and I are doing a really good job. All right, next step is to take this, remember, the rainbow, and cut out some stems and grass from the other side. I'm gonna set this down right over here, so then I can start cutting. Okay, let's cut a nice long stem. Yeah, just like that. It's like a really thin, long rectangle. Perfect. Let me do another one. Yeah, I'll start with 2. How about that? Yeah. Oh, whoa. There we go. We have 2 long rectangles. Yeah, 1, 2. And these are gonna be the flower stems. Okay, put them right under there. Perfect. Now we need some blades of grass. So what we're gonna do is some triangles. Just like that. Some nice, tall blades of grass. As if you might need to mow your lawn. Yeah, and these blades of grass I'm cutting, yeah, are triangles, just like I said. Whoa, how does that look? Do you like that blade of grass? I sure do. All right, let's put those right here. I'm gonna set this aside and grab my piece of art that had the rainbow on the top. And then, here we go. I'm gonna be able to put these on the bottom. And I'll actually cut some more. But let me flip this around and take my glue stick again. Whoa. One right in the center. How about one to the side a little bit, huh? Yeah, there we go. I love doing art. Yeah, how does that look? Yeah, and we'll do the blades of grass too. It's so colorful. Wow. Here we go. All right. Okay. All right. Looks like I need to cut some more and then glue it all down. So let me grab the piece of paper and I'll cut a bunch, all right? Whoa! Check it out. All right. I did all the blades of grass and all of the flower stems. Now we need to do the tops of the flowers. So remember earlier we did the salad spinners? Yeah! Look at all these other ones that I have. Okay, so let's cut them up so then we can use them for the flower petals. Let's do a half circle. Yeah, like that. How about that? And then we can also do, yeah, something really big, because this one is gonna be a very big flower. Yeah, perfect. How's that look? All right, and then we need some leaves on this one. So let's go like this. Yeah. And perfect. Yeah, just like that. And then we can start gluing them down and making our flowers. So let's go like this. How does this look? Yeah, that's a beautiful flower. I love the smell of flowers. And then this one will be another flower. Yeah, and a stem. Okay, let's do actually, not a stem, a leaf. We already have the stems right there. So a leaf right there, right in the center. Okay, I'm gonna cut some more and continue to glue them down. Here I go. All right, last but not least, let's put the center of the flower. Yeah, that's like where all the pollen is. All right, how does that look? Wow, we made our very own rainbow garden. Wow, what a beautiful picture. Whoa. Well, thank you so much for learning about all the colors of the rainbow today with me, and about flowers, and also that amazing book about penguins by Sarah. Well, this is the end of this video, but if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for my name. Will you spell my name with me? Ready? B-L-I-P-P-I. Blippi! Good job! All right, I'm gonna go frame this and put this in my tree house. All right, see you later.
Hey, it's me, Blippi! And look at what it is! Yeah, it's a backhoe! And today, you and I are going to learn about backhoes! Okay, now it's time to learn the exterior parts of the backhoe. Come on! Wow, this backhoe is so big. Oh, and look at what else is big. Yeah, This is a big wheel and tire. Oh, and hey, up here, this is a smaller wheel and tire. Ooh, look. Wow. This is tread of the tire. And tread is used so then when it spins, it doesn't slip and slide. Whoa! 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 I'm sure dizzy. Oh, come here. Wow. This right here is the cab. And this is where the operator of the backhoe sits. Wow, so cool. Ooh, and look up there. Those are the headlights. And that right there is the turn signal. So then you can drive this backhoe on city streets legally. Wow. Wow. This is a stabilizer leg, and it's normally up, but right now it's down in the mud. So then when the backhoe is digging, it's nice and stable. Whoa! I am so stable. Woo! And this of the backhoe is called the boom. That up there is the arm. And this arm is actually pretty special because it has an extender hose. That was awesome! Ooh, and look at this. This is the back bucket of the backhoe. It can get some pretty big scoops. We'll get some together later. Come on. Whoa, that is the exhaust. That's where the engine pushes all of its exhaust from. Whoa! Oh, hey, look at this. This is the front bucket, and it's really big, even bigger than the back bucket. And this front bucket is actually pretty special. It is a 4-in-1 bucket, and it acts like a clamshell. I love clams. Wow! Look at this. These are hydraulic hoses. This is a hydraulic cylinder, and hydraulics are used to provide power by pushing fluid through them to the front and the back bucket. Wow, I love backhoes. Now it's time to drive and operate the backhoe. Come on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a second. Are we forgetting something? Yeah. First things first. Safety first. Yeah. I got my hard hat on and my orange safety vest. All right, now it's time to drive and operate the backhoe. Come on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a second. I think we're forgetting something else. Yeah, we need to make sure that the engine is good to go. So let's go check it. Come on. So this is the hood of the engine. So let's open it up. Whoa, this is a massive engine. See, this is the air filter. this is the coolant. There's a giant tube from the radiator, the alternator, the battery. Wow, this is so powerful. But what you and I need to do is check the oil, and it's down there. Whoa, all right. So the oil is down there with the yellow O dipstick. The transmission is over there with the T dipstick. So let's grab the yellow O dipstick. Yeah? Okay, we need to wipe it off. Put it back in. So now we can inspect the oil. Yeah, looks like it's okay. All right, put it back in. And now that the backhoe is good to go, we can drive it. Let's go. All right, now we're inside the backhoe. Woo, and first things first, safety first. We have to put on our seatbelt. Good job. The cool thing about backhoes are there's a front side and a back side. So we'll check out the front side. Whoa, look at this. This is the steering wheel. This is how you drive the backhoe. Ooh, and this right here, this is the shifter. This is how you put it in forward or reverse. And over here, this, yeah, they're the turn signals. As well as, listen. Yeah, the horn. And this is how you operate the front bucket. You pull it back to make it go up. You push it forward to make it go down. Yeah, it's so great. And now let's go check out the back, okay? Wow, as you can see, the back is where the boom is, the arm, the bucket, and the stabilizer legs. And how you operate those is primarily with these two joysticks. This one, whoa, whoa, whoa! And this one, whoa, whoa, whoa! Now both of them at once. Ready? Whoa! 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 Ooh, and check out this little black button. Okay, listen. Yeah, good job. All right. Now, it's time to use the backhoe. Let's turn it on. Backhoes are the most versatile machine on the job site because it has the big front bucket and the small back bucket. Whoa! Now it's time for the backhoe dance. And how you do it is when you see a backhoe front bucket on the screen, you dance like this. Okay? And when you see a backhoe bucket, you dance like this. All right, here we go.
An excavating machine digging in the earth. This old machine
Okay, get ready.
it's got a bucket attached to a hinge and a boom. It's called a backhoe and it's really cool. A backhoe at construction sites, digging trenches for laying pipes.
All right, here comes another one.
List of things, but it cleans it up so easily. A backhoe, backhoe, backhoe dance. Backhoe, backhoe dance. Backhoe.
Last one.
A backhoe, backhoe, backhoe dance.
Good job. That was so much fun learning about backhoes with you. Thanks so much for watching the Blippi backhoe video. Well, this is the end of this video, but if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for my name. Will you spell my name with me? All right. B-L-I-P-P-I. Blippi. Good job. See you again. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Blippi, and this is a backhoe toy. It's one of the most popular machines on a job site. And today, we're gonna explore a backhoe. This is the front bucket. That is the back bucket. These are the tires. This is a stabilizer leg. And there's one on the other side too. That is the engine. This is the tractor. The inside is the cab. This is the front bucket, also known as the loader bucket. It can carry up to 8,760 pounds. That's 3 hippopotamuses. Hey, it's me, Blippi, and look at what I have. Whoa, this is a lot of tools. I am so excited to use these tools today with you. But first, we need to shut the workshop garage door. Check this out. Oh, this is a chain. Whoa. Sounds cool. You can make music with it. Okay, anywho, you pull one side down and then it shuts the door. All right. There we go. Whoa. All right, back to the cool stuff. The tools. In this video, I am gonna use these tools. And yep, they are real tools. Like this handsaw. Or this cordless drill. But I'm gonna use all safety precautions that should be used at all times. And also, just because you're a wee young, you shouldn't use real tools. But what you can use are toy tools, like this hammer, ooh, pair of pliers, ooh, like this saw. But for this video, I, Blippi, am gonna use real tools with all safety gear on and safety precautions because I'm a grown-up and only grown-ups should use real tools. So first, let's listen to the Blippi tool song. Ah!
When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. The wrench tightens pipes going clang, clang. A hammer hits a nail going bang, bang, bang. A drill is making holes going zzz, zzz. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear thuds and squeaks, cracks and rings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear bangs and booms, clangs and zings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. Cutting wires with some pliers going snip, snip. Cutting paper with some scissors going clip, clip. When you're working with tools, you've got to be real safe by wearing gloves on your hands and goggles on your face. And boys and girls, when you're working with tools, always follow mom and dad's safety rules. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear thuds and squeaks, cracks and rings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear bangs and booms, clangs and zings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things.
Whoa! So many tools to choose from. But first, we need our safety gear on. And what's really important are safety glasses. Yeah, so what they do is help protect your eyes. See? Nothing's hurting my eyes. Awesome. Okay, so we'll have those on. And then what we need to put on are safety gloves. So let's put one glove on, and then let's put another glove on. So that makes 1, 2 gloves. And you have to clap. Oh! Okay, and another set of safety gear is my earmuffs. We'll put these on later when we're ready for them. Okay, so now let's make sure we're nice and organized, because you can't be unorganized when you're doing hard work like this. So let's bring this right over here. Whoa! Okay, let's put this right here. And then, now let me show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this piece of wood right here. See how tall it is? Whoa, it's about up to my chest. And we need to cut this into a smaller piece. Whoa! See how big that piece of wood is? Whoa! All right, so let's set this piece of wood down right here. All right, and then we need to go get some tools. Do you know what tool to use to cut a piece of wood? Is it this? No, this is a broom and a dustpan. That's for cleanup time. Okay, let's see. Is it this tool right over here? No, this is a hammer. Boop, 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 boop. You hammer in nails with a hammer. That can't cut a piece of wood. Yeah, a saw. This is a hand saw, and this is what we're gonna use to cut a piece of wood. So let's put it right over here. Okay, and then, do you see this? Whoa, there's a cable attached to it. Do you know what that means? Yeah, it doesn't work right now because it doesn't have power. So we need to attach some power to it. All right. What over here can pull power? Is it this? This is a cordless drill. It gets power from its battery, see? But it can't provide power to this saw. Yeah! Yeah, you're right! Good job! This is an extension cable. We plug this into the wall and then the saw into this. And then it'll have power. Let's plug it in. Look at this right here. This is where you plug it into. Let's plug it in. Yeah! I did it! All right, so now we need to find the other end. Whoa! Whoa! Here it is. Let's go. Let me show you a trick. So we need to plug these two together. But if you just plug them in, it's probably gonna come unplugged at some point. So check this out. Loop, swoop, and then plug. Loop, swoop, and plug. See? Now you can tug on it gently and it won't come unplugged. Perfect. Okay, so now this saw is live. So if you pull the trigger, it goes. So we'll keep this right here for now. And then we need to measure this piece of wood. So let's go over here and locate the tool that we can use to measure. Is it this? No, this is a standard screwdriver. Yeah, it's just screws and screws. Okay, we need something that you can use to measure. Yeah, a measuring tape. Yeah, right here. This is a measuring tape. Check it out. Whoa! Do you see these numbers? Yeah, these are numbers that tell you how short and small and long and big things are. Perfect. All right, let's take a marker, you know what that is, and now let's measure. Okay, all right, here we go. So let's measure this piece of wood. Whoa, it's really big. So let's measure it to, I know, 12 inches. Do you see the number 12? Right there, 12. It's 1 after 11 and 1 before 13. Yeah, so let's make a mark. Perfect. And that is 12 inches. Hey, did you know in some places of the world, 12 inches is 1 foot? Yep, so today we're measuring in inches and feet. But in some parts of the world, they measure in centimeters and meters. Okay, all right, let's put these tools back over here. And let's put on our earmuffs. Hello? What did you say? I can't hear you. Okay, anyways, let me get back to work. All right, so here we go. This is where I need to cut that line. And this is the saw I'm gonna use to cut it. And let me remind you again, this is a grown-up tool. And you should not use grown-up tools. But you can use child play tools. Those are really fun. Yeah, those toys are so fun to play with. Okay, but for now, we need to get some work done. So I'm gonna prop this up, line it up, and then when I pull the trigger, it's gonna go. Here we go. Yeah, remember how this piece of wood used to be up to my chest? But now, it's up to my belly button. See? Now it's up to my chest. What? I can't hear you. Okay, let me take these off. All right, so we need this piece of wood. And actually, we need this piece of wood too. We need to screw them together like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, put that right here while we put this away. So first, let's unplug it. Perfect. All right, now when you pull the trigger, nothing happens. So let's wrap up the cable and the cord and let's stay organized and put it away. And then let's wrap up the extension cable. All right, nice and organized. Hello. All right, put that right there. And now we need to do two things. Remember how I said we need to screw in the two pieces of wood? So we need a screwdriver or a drill. And then the other thing we're gonna do is hammer in a nail. So we need a hammer and a nail. Let's find those items now. Okay, let's see. A hammer. Let's see. Oh yeah, remember? Yeah, a hammer. This is a hammer. You know what a hammer is. Boop, 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 boop. It hammers in nails. Okay, and let's see. Here's a nail. Perfect. Boop, boop, boop. Let's grab a second nail. Okay, so now I have two nails. Put it right over here. And then we need a drill and a screw. Do you see those? Yeah, here it is. Oh, wait a second. This is bolt cutters. This isn't what we need. Okay, what we need now, right here, the drill, the cordless drill. Whoa! And then 2 screws. Perfect. So we have everything we need. So let's move all this stuff back down to here. So we're gonna screw these in together. And then we're gonna nail this on top, okay? So let's screw it in. First, you take your drill and you start drilling nice and slow. Yep. Perfect. All right. And then here's another one. Perfect. There we go. See? Perfect. They stick together. Whoa. All right. So now what we need to do is put this right here. Do it a little bit further. Okay, so now, to keep this on top, we now need to hammer in 2 nails. Okay, so 1 nail, 2 nails, see? Okay, so let's start with the small one first. See how one's smaller than the other? Yeah, let's start with this one. Put it right there and make sure you don't hit your fingers. Perfect. There's one, and then here's another. Yeah, we did it. Check it out. Yeah. So we have 3 pieces of wood together.
See, if I just hold this one, all three stay together. And you know what I'm gonna do with this? Yeah. Oh yeah. This is my new back massager. Yeah. I love building things. Oh, yeah. That's the spot. Yeah, we did such a good job learning about tools today together. And remember, like I said, I used grown-up tools because I am a grown-up. But you should use toy tools and never use grown-up tools, real tools, until you're a grown-up, okay? Will you promise me that? Thank you so much. Well, this is the end of this video. But if you want to watch more of my videos, all you have to do is search for my name. Let's spell my name together, all right? B-L-I-P-P-I. Blippi! Good job. All right, now it's time for cleanup.
Clean up, clean up, clean up your stuff. 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 When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. The wrench tightens pipes going clang, clang. A hammer hits a nail going bang, bang, bang. A drill is making holes going zzz, zzz. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear thuds and squeaks, cracks and rings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear bangs and booms, clangs and zings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. Cutting wires with some pliers going snip, snip. Cutting paper with some scissors going clip, clip. When you're working with tools, you've got to be real safe by wearing gloves on your hands and goggles on your face. And boys and girls, when you're working with tools, always follow mom and dad's safety rules. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear thuds and squeaks, cracks and rings. When you're working with tools, you hear all kinds of things. You hear bangs and booms, clangs and zings.